Welcome to Pushing Through. I am Tate Frazier, and as always, I am joined by the kid, BJ Armstrong. And every single episode that we have a guest on, I say we have a special guest, but today is a little bit different because we have a very special guest. He is a man who has humility, he has courage, he has character. His name is Derrick Rose, and he is joining us on the program. Derrick, we appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here. B been asking me to come on for a while, so I told him it was up to him to get the day right, and today is that day. So what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's good? Well, we finally got it right. We're not here. We're not talking basketball here. So to all of the listeners, this is no basketball. We gonna show you a side of Derrick Rose that no one's seen. The man has a great sense of humor. All we gonna do is laugh for the next 20, 30 minutes. None of this serious stuff. We just gonna tell jokes because this man is one of the funniest people that I know. And he doesn't let everybody see that. So where did this sense of humor come from that you don't let anybody see? Where did that come from?
I wouldn't say it's humor, B. I just I say I'm good at imitating people because I watch people so much, and when I'm around my family, I'm normally they give me the stage to play out these acts, and they normally laugh whenever I do it because it takes everybody off guard.
And where did this kind of, you said you imitate people. Is there anyone in particular that you may imitate? Do you imitate BJ at times, Derrick?
Yeah, he does.
I know B. I got B down. You know what I mean?
The first time I saw you do that was pretty funny, though. That was pretty...
But it comes from a good place, man. You got to be able to laugh. So you got to be able to speak that language, and it takes the burden or it takes the pressure off of you whenever you laugh. So that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
When we first met now, what is it, like 12, 13 years ago?
Going on 13, yeah.
13 years ago. And I just want to kind of break this up into like segments here, right? Your first part of your career, the middle part of your career, and then where you going, kind of where you at. Tell me about that young Derrick Rose, that young, let's just say the bull. Character, young D Rose. Tell me what was his mindset? And I want to ask you this. I think we talked about it maybe one time. Your lay game, your layup game. You know, I've only seen two players that can lay up the ball like you and Rod Strickland. The only two players I've ever seen with a lay game that's just like that. So tell me about that young Derrick Rose and tell me how you get into them angles with layups, left hand, right hand, and kind of what was the mindset of that young kid when you first came in this league?
All right. So growing up, I used to always play with older guys. And whenever I used to get on the court, I used to really have to play through fouls because in my park, we took away fouls. It wasn't no such thing as a foul. So you have to play through contact. It could be for game point, money on the line, whatever. You know you're going to get fouled, so you got to play through it. And I used to always find myself like finding ways just to get the ball up because I was smaller. And I think it took me from like fourth grade to like sixth grade. In sixth grade, I was actually able to be on the court with them, like deal with the physicality of the game, deal with them like talking crazy to me, just able to take all that in and still play my game. Like when I was in like fourth or fifth, it was kind of hard because I was small, but in sixth, I was kind of built a little bit. So that attitude of being in my neighborhood, you got to be for real. I'm light skinned. So like, when you light skinned in certain neighborhoods, you have to do certain things to show people that you're not going to back down. And basketball was like one of my faultless ways of like showing like what I was going through, like in the crib, just living in poverty, you know what I mean? Just feeling everything. And I was able to show that and express that on the court. So it went from that griminess of playing like the physicality of it to I started playing organized ball. And when I started playing organized ball, I realized that, not at that time, but I realized that from me playing with older guys from fourth or fifth grade, when I played in organized games, it was referees for one, and I didn't have to score a lot of points. So on all my teams leading up to damn near like the NBA, I never was like a leading scorer because I found a way to like have a presence in the game without like scoring the ball. So like the layup package, all that came with me having to find ways, be creative, be witty, and it kind of converted over to the NBA because in the NBA the length of like the guys now are just crazy.
Mm. Yeah. I remember one time we were in the Philippines doing something, and I watched you for like over an hour just do the same layup, this crazy spin. I don't know what you were doing, just work it. And I remember I just sat there and watched you do like so that layup and all those crazy shots and spin shots. That's your game. Do you? I mean, you actually work on that. That's the crazy thing. I've seen you years just work on all of those angles and layups and things that you be doing in the game.
Yeah, and when I got to college, and it's a shout out to CDR, I seen that he had a floater in his game. So whenever we practiced in college, Cal used to always put me up against CDR. CDR 6'7", but Cal used to make us compete every day, and he used to kill me every day. Like she was able to get his shot up because I'm so small. And after that year, I'm like, man, I think I'm able to make that shot on a consistent basis because I don't know how or whatever, just my feel. I'm able to make that shot, and I took that and added that to the repertoire, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still in the league now because it protects me.
And Derrick, I have to ask just from like a fan perspective, as I watch you kind of come into the national spotlight, the point guard position, like you said, it wasn't necessarily the leading scorer. It was more of a, Chris Paul was like the archetype with those type of guys, even Rod the God Strickland, who BJ brought up. It was a facilitator type role, and it was more finesse than power. And then when you came to Memphis, you had the freshman floater. You were obviously the talk of the town, but you also were a different kind of point guard. And I just wondered, did you look up to anyone in particular at the point guard position, or did you kind of just find yourself? Because, I mean, you were dunking on people, throwing it down like I'd never seen before, and you were, again, the point guard of the team.
Around that time, I didn't have the internet like that, or like didn't have Wi-Fi or the service. So around the time that I was growing up, it was a big site out called Rivals. And when you was on the AAU circuit, you used to go on Rivals and see just who was the top kids in the nation. You used to dream that you could actually get on that list. And I was able to fight my way into the big camp. At first I got invited off of AAU basketball. Like in high school, I played in a system. I had a Martinet type of coaching staff where they instilled in us like these great like principles and really he was grooming us to become like men, but playing under Hambrick is something totally different. So I was able to go through that, and in AAU, that's when I played a freestyle of just playing basketball, what I used to do just in the park. And from AAU, I was able to go to the Jamboree. I don't know if y'all even know about the Jamboree now, but the Jamboree
right.
was the camp that they used to have in St. Louis, and 500 to 700 kids go there, and you got to be in the top 5, or I'm not top 5, but top 20, 25 or something like that to make it to the big camp. And I worked my way to that. With them having rules set that you, as a point guard, you couldn't shoot more than 5 times, crazy rules that they put in there. But somehow I made it to the big camp, and I just took off from there.
Derrick, you come in and you come into the NBA. One thing that's always amazed me about you, ever since I met you from day one, is your confidence. Where did that come from? Where did you get this confidence to know that I could do this?
I mean, that's deep right there, bro. But after 32 years, I'm being 32 years old, and me having conscience of what was going on, that got to be 20-some years. Right. That's something that I asked myself this entire time, and now I think I know that answer. when I was younger, I used to always pray like that I had too much confidence because my mom was real big on karma. So like whenever she did something, she made it like karma, like a boogeyman. You feel me? Like
we love Brenda. I can't say nothing about Brenda. That's my girl.
Yeah.
Brenda's like, hey, Brenda, we saying nice things here, so we'll make sure.
Yeah, she made it seem as if it was like the boogeyman, and that's something I try to stay away from. And that's why I prayed about it when I was younger. That confidence, I felt like I had too much. It was the norm. Like it wasn't a norm. I mean, like, and I didn't like boast about it. I wasn't vaunting. I wasn't doing anything. I was just being me. And I used to pray quietly to myself that He forgave me for just this confidence that I had. And now that I got older, what I was talking about is like just knowing like your history, your past, where you come from, and like it's all real, and it's up to you if you want to tap into it, and that's what I think I'm doing right now.
Mm. And I want to talk about the early part of your career because, you know, you get drafted first overall in 2008. You know, that draft is obviously a draft that kind of changes the landscape of the NBA as we move into the future. You're second, you win Rookie of the Year, then you're an All-Star, and then you do something that, I mean, I still remember that. BJ makes fun of me all the time, Derrick, because I send him highlights of you from, 2010, 2011, and I'm like, did you see this? Like, what is this? And that's how it felt in the moment. You were the youngest MVP. You're 22 years old. You unseat the late Wes Unseld as the youngest MVP in NBA history. And just like the confidence in that moment, did you feel validated like that for your confidence? Did you say, hey, I was right, I am the MVP of the league? Or was it more of a, I can't believe I'm the MVP of the league right now?
I mean, it was surreal to actually be so young and like to say it or predict it before it happened. That's kind of crazy. But at the same time, it showed me that how the tongue is powerful, and how even after that, like people will say, like even with me even getting injured, it's like, man, that's the biggest what if. Like I feel that way too, but mine's vice versa. Like if I didn't get injured, like there's no way I would have scratched the surface to who I am right now. So like it's depending on your perspective and how you look at it. Like this is the biggest blessing I ever had, and I'm happy that it came through pain. Like I felt every second of it. Like I wouldn't want it like any other way. So right now, I'm just being appreciative and just taking everything in.
Now you after you win the MVP, you do those things. The league kind of changed a little bit. The guards began to change a little bit, and when you came into the league, they hadn't really seen an athletic guard like yourself, right? They hadn't seen you, Russell Westbrook, and then suddenly, shooting became a thing. Tell me about when you came back here in, I don't know, year 6, year 7, when the league kind of changed. What did you feel that you had to add to your game? Because you had the Steph Currys, you had the Kyrie Irvings, you had all of these shooting now guards, Damian Lillards. Tell me, what did you try to put into your game, or what was your mindset now taking on, these guards and that phase of your career?
I mean, that I will have to bring Kobe into it. You already know, with Kobe, like if you look at his career, people see how great he is. You know that his work ethic is crazy. But to play 20 years, you got to be able to adapt, not totally change your game, but adapt in a little nuance, like the little nuances of the game. Like you just gotta, like you said, shooting. You would think that shooting is that's the first thing you do when you shoot, but it's guys that make it to the league, and that's just not their skill. So like Kobe showed with his work ethic that with time you can actually work on them skills. So with him making it, I would say that it gave me like a chance to see him up close and ask you about him, ask Arn about him, and just stories so that I could like actually like see how he became the player that he is. And he was paying attention to the way the game was changing. And like now, when I came back into the league, like I had to shoot 40% in Minnesota to stay in the league. I changed my shot totally. I had to get surgery on my elbow. If I didn't shoot that 40%, or if I would have shot anything close down to 30-some%, it would have been hard to even get in the league. Now that 40, it holds some leverage. Like, all right, not only you hooping, you shooting 40 from the line. Then the next year, not only you shooting decent, but you finding guys that's at the three. Like, guys not cutting it now, like as often now. So you finding an open guy on the three now to put pressure just on the game, period. Like, I'm seeing all that, and I'm taking my time with it and just getting my rhythm. And so far it's helping.
And I want to go back a little bit, Derrick. BJ talked about all those point guards that kind of came into the league and blossomed together. You saw all those guys up close and personal. We had Rob Mack on the show, and he talked about, you and Russell working out in Santa Monica, before pre-draft, 2010 World Games. There's Steph Curry, John Wall, Russell Westbrook, all you guys are there in the camp. So as the decade has played out and you see all these other point guards that personally, like Russ win an MVP, Steph win a unanimous MVP, you obviously win an MVP, like, what does that speak to the point guard position? Does that give you a little bit of pride to say, we are still the premier position in basketball? Just look at the game. I mean, even LeBron plays point guard now.
Oh, yeah, I think right now you're in the point guard, like, stage in the NBA, but the NBA, I always felt like you just have players. And right now, just look at it like this. Everybody's looking for freedom.
Okay. All right, we're going to act like the camera not here for a little bit. What do you mean by that? Because I always learn when I talk to you. What do you mean everybody's looking for freedom? What does that mean?
Everybody's looking for that liberation on the court, or you have players on the court when every icon player you could think of, when you think about their game, the coach the system that they were in, think about every position, they had the freedom to do whatever they wanted. Like Charles Barkley, you had the freedom to bring the ball up the court, so they gave KG the chance to add on to that. Like, I mean, it's players way before that too, but like, AI gave me the freedom to go out there and be reckless. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I'm giving my all, bro. Like, Zeke was a little bit smarter, but like me and AI, like, the way that we attack the rim or just being is kind of different. That's why I don't like to compare players, because in a way, every player is there for a reason, just like everything in nature. You know what I mean?
Every player is just looking for freedom out there on the court.
Yeah, every player. And you have certain generational players where, like right now, LeBron, he's giving every player that at that three spot freedom for the future to do whatever they want.
That's strong.
Yeah, that's where you be coming up with these ideas? You be saying things like this to me all the time, man. I always ask you this. Well, I mean, I'm watching the game. Why don't I see that?
Come on, but you think about it, but it's real. It's really just that freedom.
Hey, all right, let me ask you this. Where is, okay, so we know what the ones and twos and all of this, the small ball, if you will.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with the bigs in this league, the fives?
I mean, for right now, we're going to have fives that, I mean, this is me personally speaking. Right. This ain't nobody else's thought. So this is me just thinking about the game. You're going to have very talented fives that's going to, like Jokic, where he's not like the Joker. He's not crazy athletic, but he's very skilled. You're going to have players like very talented. But then I feel like it's going to be a big that's going to come along and like be a threat that's so crazy in the paint that he's going to change the game, because that's an area like right now, it's only so much room on the floor. You got guys shooting from half court. So it's only right if the game evolves to, or it's going to be a player. It has to be a player. It has to be a player for the NBA to exist. That's going to be a big to make his presence back to the NBA. Just like I said, you got guys shooting from half court. You can't shoot from beyond half court. So the game got to revert back to somewhere around the basket.
That's what BJ's been saying for a long time. I mean, that's one thing I've learned about the guard position. They have an affinity for the bigs, and BJ obviously has an affinity for the bigs. And as Jokic was tearing it up, and Bam was doing so great, disseminating the ball and delivering the ball around, it felt like the bigs had a second life. And obviously, AD moving over to the 5 spot in the finals, that showed some signs of that. Did you watch any of the playoffs, Derrick? Do you stay tuned in like that, or do you just kind of keep your head in the sand as best you can when you're not in the playoffs?
No, I watch. I watch whenever I get time. I watch. For the most part, I watch mostly all of the games, at least some of them. But some courts or some. But yeah, I watch a little bit. I just loved how the setup was dope. They're playing in a bubble.
Right.
They playing on 3 or 4 courts. It was like, it reminded me of AAU, not to say that their play was like that. I'm just talking about how the setup was.
What are you 32 now? You 32 now? Are you in your 30s now? You in your 30s now, huh? You 30, 32. Hey. 32. You in Detroit right now with in my hometown, we started off in your hometown. Now you in my hometown. What up, Doe? What up, Doe? We got to say that. Where is Mr. Rose at now? Just tell me what you doing. I mean, you in a great space. Your wellness. You got some experience now in life. Where is Mr. Rose at now, and what is he looking to do here at this stage of his career and in his life? You got 3 kids. You're calm. You got the braids going. My hair won't grow that long, so I can't. I'm a little jealous right now. You got the braids going. He's just doing that. Yeah. So where are you right now at this stage of your career, and what are you trying? What do you want to achieve now at this phase of your life?
I mean, that's a lot. I mean, we'll be here for a while if I had to explain that. But
well, you make things simple. You make the game simple now. Yeah.
It's gonna be a very concise way of saying it. All right. I know a while ago, like a couple of years ago, I seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the guy behind you, the jersey behind you. I seen him sell he sold all his memorabilia. He gave it to charity. And it's a lot of people that probably think that he's financially just like crushed or something like that, but I don't think that. But and you think it's a lot of people that I mean, what he showed to me basically was that life is way much more than that. Like, that's a guy, he still holds the record for the most points scored in the league. Titles, got a few titles, did things in college, high school, that was crazy. And that for him to be mindful enough to be in a place to be like, man, I don't need any of it. It just showed me that it's so much more to life than just the profession or the occupation that you pick. Like, I always felt like basketball, people always loved the way that I played, but I always felt like I had more to give. And right now, at the stage that I'm in, I'm trying to put everything together with balance, with order, with everything. Just trying to put it all, with everything, just trying to put it all together and just see what comes from it. But I've been locked down in the crib, but I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I know you. I know you. I know you. You ain't going nowhere. I know what you do.
Nowhere.
One thing I wanted to point out, because this is when I came around BJ, met BJ back in like 2017, and you were one of my favorite players. I'd always kept up with you, and when you dropped 50 points on the Utah Jazz, I still think a lot of people didn't really like put 2 and 2 together there as to why that was so meaningful. Yes, it was this moment of like Derrick Rose is back. LeBron James, said that you were a superhero again, and the NBA celebrated that whole moment. But you overcame, right? I mean, you get traded to Utah, they cut you, and then you go to Minnesota and you come back the next year and you put a 50 burger on them, your career high. And for me, I know a lot of people were just excited about the Derrick Rose factor of that, but I just thought that was like a competitive moment to say, like, I'm here, like, you, in case you forgot, like, I'm still Derrick Rose. And I just wanted to point out that moment because I think a lot of people, they enjoyed it at the time, but they didn't really understand the the magnitude of what that meant. And I just wanted to, point that out and just ask you about that moment when you put up 50 points.
Oh man, that was huge, man. I think that, it put me in a spot where it solidified me, like back in the league. Like, it's a lot of guys that's in that position where they don't have that opportunity. That night, Jimmy didn't play, and the team allowed me to play the way that I played, and all that. Like, if I didn't, like, all of it happened for a reason. If I didn't have that moment, like I probably would have been I probably would have been out the league. Something else probably would have happened. So, like, I'm very, very appreciative of that moment. And like I said, I'm doing it for guys that don't get the opportunity, because there's a lot of guys, people just think the last guy on the bench is like ass, or they think like they don't understand, bro, what it takes to just be a NBA player, my guy. I'm talking strictly for the NBA. I ain't talking no other profession. I'm talking about, it's tough out there. You think it's a shooting league, but at the same time, all that running around continuously, having to fight through screens, especially at the point guard spot. Like, people overlook that because they're just watching the game while they're being on their phones. But man, it takes a lot of heart, it takes a lot of dedication, and to be out there doing what we're doing.
Anything else, Mr. Rose? We want to discuss anything else? Because now I got to go back and look at the tape of the game. I got to find. I got to
find the freedom.
I gotta find the freedom. I'm trying to find my freedom now. I'm trying to. What do you add to your game right now? I know you got something going. You over there acting like you ain't doing. What do you add to your game this year? What, every year you add something new to your game. What you add this year?
I mean, right now it's I'm not adding nothing, but really ain't adding nothing, but just seeing how the game is really just shooting, and shooting can only take you so far, or just playing one way can only take you so far. The playoffs were, you saw that they were a totally different game than in the regular season. So in the playoffs, you just got to be a good shot, a good attempt every time. So like right now, I'm trying to just be as crafty as I can, and stay in between the lines of just knowing that, like, sometimes I can't get reckless because my mind takes me there, but I'm 32 now, so I gotta be mindful of that.
What does that mean, mindful? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean? Hold on. What does that mean? Reckless? Hey, wait, what do you mean? You got shoot floaters now? Dunking? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah. Floaters right now. Is like for real, floaters for real, because even though I do play through physicality, just the wear and tear of doing that 70-some, 80-some games is tough. So the floater, like I said, it protects me in a way, and I'm able to shoot that shot at a high rate. So I'm just trying to be smart. You know what I'm saying?
All right, just a little business here. We go talk. We always talk a little business in our conversation. Let's talk a little business. No one wants to hear about the business. Let's talk about it though.
Yeah, we never talk about that.
Yeah, we don't never talk about that. We talk about business because you a businessman. You a businessman. What shoe is this now for you? 12, 13? What number is this for you?
It's the 11th shoe right now.
Okay.
11, man. B, we got to 11, bro.
I know it's been. I don't even want to. I don't even like talking about it because it's like one of these things I never imagined.
Oh man, we got to 11.
Okay,
man.
Tell me how incredible this. I mean, you and I have been all around the world.
Yeah.
Together, your family. We go to Beijing. We've been to Europe. We've been everywhere, and now you have this shoe that we talked about. And here we are, year 12, 13, you got a signature 11. Just tell me about how, I mean, it's like unbelievable. I don't even like to say it because I can't believe it. Like it's like unreal to think that you got a new shoe coming out now. I mean, okay, let's just keep it real. We know how this works. We're always 17, 18 months out before. To see this process and go through this process, a young kid from Chicago, to see this, to experience the world in this way, to see young people wearing your shoes, my kids, your family, and we go all around. We see what is that like for you? Like, I don't think I've even asked you that. What is that like for you? We go around the world and there's thousands of people show up with Derrick Rose shoes and shirts and things on. What is that like?
I mean, I really can't. Words can't really explain how I feel. Just the grind, like be like, man, we went through a grind, man. Like as far as like going to China, my second year, all the way up to like right now, like the pandemic, like just thinking about all that and how much we gave back. And be for real, all my business is, we just came back domestically. All my business is in China. So like it's a blessing to see that not only just a couple of people, a group of people, but basically the continent really gravitate to you. So it's cool.
It's just different. And I mean, to have 11 signature sneakers, I mean, the Jordan 11 is my favorite sneaker. That's like a seminal sneaker. But, you know, there aren't many basketball players or people in general that have a signature sneaker that make it past, you know, 3 or 4 editions of that shoe before they're kind of gone. And you have had that longevity. You know, like you mentioned China, the market there. People love you in China. I mean, it's like a Kobe Bryant 2.0 situation where people love D Rose.
This guy's unbelievable in China. This guy's unbelievable. This guy's unbelievable. He's being so like, this guy's unbelievable over there. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. He's unbelievable, but over there it's like unreal. It's like, hey, you know, it's this guy's taking Mandarin. Look at him. He's taking Mandarin. He speaks. He speaks. This guy's giving. One day we're up there. He's giving speeches in Mandarin. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't even know who he is. You know, he's.
We ain't so love. Ni hama.
There you go. There you go again. You know. What can you share with us about this your new speaker? We just saw it. Here, you and I, was it yesterday? You know, I'm old. I can't remember. We just saw it. And what can you share with us about your new sneaker?
I mean, it's some new technology. It's the light stripe, and I feel like with this model right here, it's a new. I'm reinventing myself to, like, in the way of trying to get the brand to come with different looks. This is the first step to actually get the, like, I mean, I can't talk about it.
You recreating the Derrick Rose image.
Trying to reinvent that, and always on the way.
Oh, we love that. We love that. Well, Derrick, we appreciate you coming on, pushing through, and sharing your story. I quickly, when will the next time we see you in an interview, or did we get an exclusive today? I feel like we got an exclusive Derrick Rose update.
Yeah, you probably ain't gonna get an interview out of me in probably 2 years. I mean,
okay, can you at least send us some sneakers? Can we get some sneakers? You know what I'm saying? Can we get a pair of sneakers? You know,
everybody address. I got you, man.
Okay, yeah. Can we at least get some sneakers here? You know, get some sneakers. Oh, it's beautiful, man. It's great. You take care of that beautiful family of yours, man. I appreciate you coming on, and I know you're not gonna give any more interviews here, so everybody's gonna be mad at me. But hey, he's a very mindful individual right now. You know,
he's got a lot going on.
All right, before I let you go, what are you reading right now? What you reading right now?
Right now, I mean, it's a lot, man. I'm reading a lot right now, but I read a lot of Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
I read a lot of his books. I don't want to give out all the secrets, though.
Okay. All right. Hey, them young guards might be listening to this interview. They might, them young guards may be listening. You know, you're not giving up. But no, that's. I know you always doing well. I'll definitely send you some. I'll send you some names, some novels, some books here.
You know, you sent me one already.
I know. I sent you one. The Hero. What did I send you? I sent you the Hero. I got it somewhere around here.
The hero with
1,000 faces.
Yeah, hero with 1,000 faces. Man, excellent, excellent. It's an excellent book here, and for sure, I can't wait till you and I can discuss it once you get a chance to get your hands on it.
For sure.
Perfect.
All right, my man.
All right.
Peace, love. We ain't talk about music. We ain't talk about music. Give me one. What you listen to?
Nas right now. I'm listening to a lot of Nas. You know, he
Ooh.
just dropped his
Man,
CD.
Illmatic,
That's classic.
man. Man, now you talking to me. Now you talking to me. Now you talking to me. All right, man. Love you. Take care of yourself, man. And appreciate you coming on.
Thanks,
You
Derrick.
know, peace and love, y'all.
All right, yep.